Alright, what's up, folks? So, last night, about 2 in the morning, I decided to watch this new Eddie Murphy movie. My name is Dolemite, okay? Based on a true story. Rudy Ray Moore in the 70s who had a dream to go to make it big in California. Not even necessarily Hollywood, but make it big. So he left Arkansas. All right, very quickly into the movie that I know that there was going to be a lot of takeaways, man, a lot of lessons. Very quickly that I realized that I definitely identify with this character. So, without further ado, because I'm not going to spoil the movie, I definitely want you to watch it if you have Netflix and you like watching movies and things like that. When you get around to it, definitely watch this movie. So one of the first things that I noticed about him is that he was extremely ambitious and tenacious. All right, he held on to his dreams even when other people didn't see it. A lot of people casting him off as too old and all of that. Our dreams are behind us. Not him, man. It's the reason why he came to California. Even there was even parts in the movie where he started to doubt himself, like we all do. He started to doubt himself, and it just shows the dichotomy of when you strongly believe in yourself. Um, First of all, one outweighs the other, of course, but it takes a lot out of a person to keep pushing when you don't necessarily know when that big break is going to come. And yeah, there will be lots of room for doubt. So I'm not surprised that he did doubt himself at times. So, and secondly, the man was extremely resourceful. He reached out to everybody that he could, um, and worked with what he had. Is something that I mentioned. You work with what you have. You start right now, because if you wait for everything to be perfectly aligned, you will miss out on a lot. Now, I'll take this time to say something that's very controversial, and my child's mother, she probably won't finish watching the movie because of this, and I don't necessarily respect it too, and I also don't know if it's the truth. But there was this homeless man who would frequent the record store in which he worked, Rudy Ray, Dolemite, and he would tell all these crazy ass stories that were kind of captivating. It rhymed. Before rap was a thing, he told they rhymed. They had a little swag about it. So one day he had this idea that he was going to find this homeless man, give him some drinks, and pay all of them some money to hear these stories, to hear these rhymes, so he could use it for his own gain. So he kind of took on that persona even after he stopped using their material. He took on a persona of all the stories that were told, and he kind of turned himself into a pimp type character, to which he got a great response from the crowd at this place that he was emceeing. He was like the host and all that, but he wanted to be the star. He wanted to have a bigger bit, but people weren't really feeling him. You know what I'm saying? So it's controversial because flat out we call that stealing. We would call that stealing and all that. And as a content creator, I'm not big on stealing, but I was being kind of objective about it and just kind of putting things into perspective. To his defense, the homeless dude wasn't going to do anything with it. He could have kicked him some money, but I don't know if he did or not. But what I did notice is that he had no ego about himself. He even said in the movie, I got no ego about any of this, because he was trying to make a movie after a while. He said, I got no ego about all this. If the people get hungry, I go downstairs and start making them some sandwiches, And he put his pride aside to ask people for money just so he can have his dreams manifested. And then when the money started coming in, he paid those people back. All right? Which brings me to another point. having a team and having a team of people that believe in you, that rally behind you. See, he took care of his team, and his team took care of him. And I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory that you can get further with a team than you can by yourself, which is an issue that I'm dealing with. But my team is going to come. I'm just building it right now. Build it so they can come. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too worried about that. But I don't want to be John Henry for the rest of my life and try to beat the machine when I can do it with the team. You know what I'm saying? So he had a team. He was resourceful. He was ambitious. Didn't take no for an answer. Held on to his vision. All right, was an opportunist. You know, even in a controversial way, he was an opportunist. All right, he exhausted all of his resources. He even set himself up for a great deal of failure, because prior to that, he had some comedy records that did extremely well, and the people who was funding him, you know, gave him the money, start funding the movies, and they were like, man, if this don't work out, you're gonna be working for us for free for the rest of your life, man. He's like, I'm gonna bet on myself. Bet on yourself, man. I made a video on that. You have to bet on yourself. Like, a lot of you are afraid to go into depth to work on your dreams, to invest in your business and all this. Fear. Your fear is stopping you from taking massive action. Yeah, take some risk. So what? You can pay them back when you pay them back. And if you can't pay back, you know, the credit cards right away, oh, what's the worst that can happen? Oh, my credit's messed up. So what? And your personal credit doesn't even matter as much if you can just go out there, get an LLC, get an EIN, and build up business credit. You know, you keep making opportunities for yourself. I'm not telling you to take out a line of credit so you can do something stupid with it, but to invest in yourself. All right? It's powerful to not take no for an answer. When one door closes, another one opens. So he had this very important line, and I'm not going to get it verbatim, but he was just saying, luck is where opportunity and preparation meets. Wow. So you may look around you and you say, well, when I get this going for me, then I'm going to start working on this, No. To my point, always to my point, start right now. All right? So you start right now, you build it, you prepare for these things, and then when the opportunity comes, you know, you won't be able to pass it. You know, you won't have to pass it up. You'll be prepared for it. You'll be ready for it. This is why I do a lot of work in silence. This is why I tell you to do a lot of, do your work in the darkness, in the sound, when no one is around. It's so you can capitalize on your opportunity when it comes, because it will come. You will have your shot. You know, you may not get many, so it's best to be prepared for it as opposed to trying to play catch up. All right, start right now. So, oh yeah, finally, he saw the beauty in things. He saw the beauty in people. Saw the good in people. So I'll tell you this one part, and then I'm going to leave. So, he was performing, doing his comedy bit, and he had noticed from behind the curtains before he went out that there was a quarrel between a woman and her man, and it's apparent that he was cheating. You know, she saw him with her. He smacked her. She beat the shit out of him, punched him, knocked him out. Then he leaves with the woman or whatever. She's sad, she's depressed or whatever. Dolemite notices her at the gets her attention at the end of the show. You know, was just telling her like, man, that was a nice hook. You know, you should have been the main event. You know, it's just a bigger lady, dark skin and all that. And very quickly into the conversation, she was just mentioning how she's not attractive or any of these things. And, you know, he was saying, man, you're so funny. You know, I'm sure I can sense something about you. You got some talent about you. And so she used to be, she said she used to be a background singer or whatever. So then he starts taking her on the road, and they start doing performances and things like that. And You know, she ends up being in the movie with him, ends up becoming a star. And I think it's just very powerful, because this is also something that I aspire to do, is to take people with me who are on the journey, take them with me. It's just gonna be a lot better once you get there. You won't feel as lonely. People who deserve it, people who supported you all the way through. You never turn your back on them. And I just thought that was just a very powerful message. Again, I'm not a fan of stealing, but nothing is new under the sun. All right, you take some of the greats in any field, and there was a bit of stealing, because you know, people model themselves after somebody else. Not 100%, but you know, you take somebody like Eminem, he modeled himself after Big Daddy Kane and Big L and all these things, and he turned it into his own style. Kobe Bryant modeled his game after Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, you know, all the greats. So this is what we do. So I'm not a fan of directly stealing from somebody, but you can take from what was working, apply it to something else that was working. You know, you put your own spin on it, and then you create something else. All right, it's a brainchild. So with that being said, hope you all got some value out of this video. Best wishes, man. Apply these messages, lessons to your life. If it's something else you want me to speak on, let me know. Take care.